You see these beat-up boots? That's all anyone ever notices first. Not the blood, not the sweat, just the boots. Always too worn, too wrong for a place like this. That's how it started, you know? Just a girl with a faded backpack, a t-shirt crusted with blood, walking into a world that didn't want her. I swear, the first thing that hit me in that dusty forward base wasn't the heat, or the diesel stench, or even the gunshots in the distance. It was the way people stared, like I was a stray cat wandered in off the wire. Medic, huh? That was Lieutenant Brandt, young. Uniform pressed, so hard you'd think it'd crack if he moved too fast. He had a hand wrapped in the gauze I'd just changed for him, but that didn't stop him from making sure the whole tent heard him. Janitor and nurse all in one. You even know what an artery looks like. His buddy, snorted. Probably got exiled from logistics. Can't even tell a vein from a shoelace. You know what I mean? That laugh. It stays with you. I handed Brandt his painkillers, just looked him dead in the eye for a half second. Not angry, just letting him know I saw him, all the way through. He turned away, tried to hide that he was rattled, but I knew. People think silence means weakness. They forget silence is sometimes a shield. And let me tell you, in that base, I needed every bit of it. That patch on my bag, faded, almost invisible, except for the Black Falcon, Echo 5 stitched underneath. Nobody ever asked what it meant. They were too busy making sure I knew where I stood, bottom rung. Not even worth the mess tent's leftover coffee. One day Jenkins, 30, loud, belly hanging over his belt, thought he owned the med tent, tossed a clipboard at my station, sneering, missed a form. Bandage girl. The others laughed, watching my boots flop. I barely glanced at him, just said, check the bottom page. He froze. His own signature missing, not mine. Room got quiet, he stormed out. Face red, and that silence? It hung heavier than the desert sun. Off-duty soldiers lounged by the mess, making bets about how long I'd last. Gorman, wiry, eyes mean, called out. Charity case, right? Just here for your resume. His friend smirked, and I just dropped my crate by the water barrel. You volunteering to help, Gorman? He mumbled, but the laughter died. My job wasn't to make friends. I just wanted to do the work. But in a place like that, it's never just about work. Nobody knew about the life I left. Marble floors, perfect lawns. A name that opened doors. But discipline was the law at home. Stand straight. Speak little. Never let them see you bleed. I walked away, traded silk for dust. Because there was something inside me that just wanted to serve. Out here, I was invisible. Or worse, the punchline. Kessler, chipped tooth, always picking fights, tossed a bloody bandage at my feet. Clean that up, that's your job, right? I dropped it in the biohazard bin slow, locked eyes, and he looked away. They always did, eventually. The order here was simple. You're nobody until proven otherwise. My boots, my hair, my quiet made me a target. I took it. Hollis leaned over my counter, smile fake, voice like a knife. You ever think about dressing like you belong? Look like you got lost on your way to a soup line. Laughter again, all eyes on me, and I just slid a tray into the sterilizer, said quietly. You got something to say, Hollis? That stopped him. They never expected me to answer back, not like that. He muttered and left. I'd carry supplies under the sun, arms shaking. And Vega, greased slick hair, all bravado, yelled, What? You're the delivery girl now? Stick to mopping up. I set the box down, turned to him. You want it faster, carry it yourself. The yard went silent. His laugh just died. Thing is, the base was a powder keg. Rumors about an ambush had everyone on edge. The echo alert went off, sirens screaming. Soldiers running, meant for everyone but the nobodies like me. Lieutenant Carver, veins popping in his neck, barked at me to stay put. Who do you think you are? Stitch up the dead, that's your place. His voice was for show, trying to put me in mine. I just sat down, repacked my medkit, slow and steady, while outside the world exploded. But just before the shooting started, a kid, private, barely 19, came limping in, sleeves soaked red, fear written all over him. The other medics were packing to evacuate, ignoring him. I knelt, cleaned and stitched his wound fast, whispering calm so he'd stop shaking. He stared at me. You're not just a medic, are you? I didn't answer, just gave him a water bottle, moved on. But he knew, and now so did I. That lockdown dragged, and everyone's nerves wore thin. Ellison, radio guy with a chip on his shoulder, Made some crack about me playing doctor. I handed him a bandage. Didn't flinch when he knocked over a tray, just cleaned it up. Everyone was watching now, but I was still invisible, or so they thought. Screams shattered the tent, a soldier torn open, shrapnel deep near the bone. Everyone froze. "We need a surgeon," someone yelled. "No surgeon, no time." I grabbed forceps, leaned over him. No anesthesia. 12 seconds, shrapnel out. One strip closed it. The tent went silent. Carver's jaw dropped. No one spoke, but I could feel it. Their view of me shifting. Twist came from where I least expected. Torres, the quiet medic, caught a glimpse of an old photo I'd tucked away. Me, Black Falcon patch, with a team nobody here could name. She didn't say a word, but from then on, her eyes followed me. It was a small thing, but for the first time, someone saw me as something more. Then the attack hit. Mortars, gunfire, chaos. I grabbed my kit, slipped out. Nobody noticed the Glock in my bag, or the encrypted radio blinking Echo 5. Crawled up a shipping container, spotted the glint of sniper scopes in the hills. For shots, for bodies dropped. Dawkins, our sergeant, whispered, "Who the hell's leading that?" Nobody answered. I was already gone. The chaos thinned, enemy snipers out, time bought. HQ radioed. No record of Echo 5. Commander Torres just shook his head. "She's saving us. That's all you need to know." Later, I found a tracker blinking red. Ambush sign was clear to me, scuffs in the dust, glint in the rocks. "You're not supposed to be here," a soldier told me, face white. "Neither are you," I said, moving on. I wasn't fighting for them to know my name. I was fighting because it's what I do. A UAV dropped a crate, stamped with my code. Black rain, thermal mask, new rifle. I took it, moved like I'd been training for this forever. Soldiers watched, silent. I stitched up wounds, stabilized the dying. Hayes, who'd never spoken to me, asked quietly, "Where'd you learn that?" I didn't answer. The fight ended. 14 enemy bodies. The base was quiet, but nobody looked at me the same. Dawkins nodded as he walked past. Even Brandt, once so smug, packed his things for a desk job, never looked me in the eye again. Hollis, caught on a hot mic. Career done. Jenkins reassigned. Carver's contracts dropped. It all happened quietly, like fate's ledger finally balancing. A black chopper landed, blades roaring. General McKenna stepped out. Uniform like iron, face stone. "I'm only here to speak to Echo 5. I stepped forward. He saluted, told me, "We owe you a base and an apology." The crowd parted, nobody meeting my eyes. But they all felt it. I packed my kit, faded patch barely visible, and walked to the chopper. Nobody said goodbye. I didn't look back. A week later, maintenance found a metal tag with a Black Falcon and E5 under a cot. Dawkins just pocketed it. Leave it alone. No one needed to say my name anymore. The story was written in scars and silence. Years down the line, a private found my old photo behind a crate. Me and my team, Black Falcon shining. He showed Dawkins. "Don't ask," Dawkins said. "You won't get answers. That's how it is. Sometimes, you walk through fire, not to prove them wrong, but because it's who you are. And sometimes, the only proof you need is the weight you leave behind when you go." So tell me, after all that, where do you stand on what's right and wrong? What makes a hero? What makes justice? Leave your thoughts below. Let's walk through it together, because I promise you're not alone.